There we go. Ooh. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all having a decent day. I know Bitcoin's down, the stock market's down. There's a lot of stuff down today, so we'll talk about that and some more stuff here going forward. But definitely an interesting day here. Both the stock market had a big drop towards the end of the day, pretty massive one, and then of course you saw Bitcoin also fall down today. And I think that had something to do with the way the stock market was moving here, right? Sometimes for some reason, I think it's just because more institutional money is kind of slowly flowing into Bitcoin. You do see Bitcoin following the stock market more than we might like, right? I think I would be more happy with Bitcoin if it did its own thing. If it went up, if it went up when the stock market was down, or if it went down when the stock market went up, I'd be fine with that. But I don't like it when it follows the market exactly. I like having that extra source of income kind of on the side where it can do whatever it wants to do. But I don't like how it's been following the SPY basically for the last few months here. Hey Monica, happy to see you back. I was actually just looking at BGB and it made me think of you here. BGB didn't hit an all-time high, but it is up here a little bit more. Over the last few minutes, it had a little bit of a spike. I don't know exactly why. Maybe there was an announcement on Twitter. But it popped like 5.5% at the height of it. Let me see if I can actually go over here to Twitter. Excuse me. Maybe just type in BGB. Bitget, maybe. Anything new over the last few minutes? No. Bitget reportedly buys $104 million private island in the Caribbean. A spokesperson said the world's leading crypto copy trading exchange platform says the island would only be open to those with diamond hands. Okay, I'm going to talk to the people that at Bitget later on and see if this I think is really true, and see if I can get invited to this island. I would very much enjoy that. That is, I don't know why a company would buy an island, but maybe that was a catalyst. I have no idea why. But Monica, yeah, so far it's been performing pretty well. I'm. Why aren't you letting me drag you? There we go. Oh, I glitched it out. Okay. I don't know if it's going to be today or so, or tomorrow, but I do hope that we can break through this all-time high of 21.5 cents. My entire portfolio was red. Yesterday I got stopped out on quite a few crypto trades, and excuse me, man. But this is like the only green thing I have right now in my portfolio that's been doing pretty well over time. Now I got tons of green stuff if you think about like long-term holds, but short-term I got stopped out when Bitcoin broke down below this low. Remember, I think it wasn't yesterday because I had computer problems, which sucked, and that was a story of its own. But I think it was either Monday or Monday or Tuesday. I forget which one it was. We talked about how we were going up bit by bit, but if you wanted to have a stop loss, it would be if we actually broke down below the low here, so like higher lows. If we broke down below that low, I ended up, losing a little bit of money. Well, not losing money, but not making as much money as I wanted to. I may take an opportunity to buy here if by tomorrow I see that we're holding pretty strong against this first trend line. But again, this is the most aggressive trend line we have. If we break down from it, we're most likely going to be coming back down here to like $44,000 or so, or at least until the 20 moving average here on the daily chart, which maybe by tomorrow, next few days, about $44,000, right? Excuse me. All right. That's it for now. We just talked about BGB. I'll see how that one goes on a little bit later on. But again, if we break down from this one, I'm not overly concerned here for the nibbles I've gotten. If you guys bought the breakout, it's okay to sell a little bit off if you want to. Let me see over here. The trend line I'm more interested in is this one right here. That one. All right. This could be a next good buying opportunity if you guys wanted to do it. But I think what we saw here was a mix of just a stronger than we anticipated 200 moving average. And on top of that, really what bothered me again was if you go over here to the stock market, I don't know if you guys can see those candles at the end of the day. The last hour of the trading day, or the last few minutes of the trading day, was just absolutely horrible. And I haven't had a chance to look into it yet. yet. I will most likely get a chance to do it a little bit later on tonight. I was at the park with Loki for the majority of the day, for like the majority of the trading day here. Oil's down a little bit. U.S. oil's down about 1.5%. That's kind of nice to see. But if you go over here to the SPY, to the 5-minute chart, look at that. 5-minute chart just completely broke down there, and in the last few minutes, you know, I don't know what it is, probably like last half an hour, 45 minutes, you know, dropped down quite a bit right there. So I'm gonna see what happens here on the chart tomorrow as far as you know, Friday. Hopefully we can finish off on a greener note, because I think the Dow Jones was down 550 points, SPY was down 7, and NASDAQ was down 233. Everything down about 1.5%, if you will. Excuse me. There we go here. But on the main chart here, you guys can see this was that initial breakout, excuse me. Consolidated for a while, got knocked back down. We did talk about level of resistance up here about $48,000. How some whales put some limit orders over there, so short. It's having an effect right now, and right now we're barely holding on to this trend line. But if you guys wanted to buy in for a short-term swing trade, this would probably be your best bet. Having a stop loss probably of this GAN fan. So I mean, again, if you bought right now, the stop loss would be about 0.84% if you did want to take the opportunity. But be careful here, because there's definitely some shorts trying to bring this down at the moment here. But okie dokie here. Let's go back over there. Let's go to second. I can be fine there. All right. And yeah, we'll set this on the 5 here though. Hey Hota, thanks for joining the channel, my man. Woohoo, sup, Mike? Give me the FTW. What does FTW mean? I feel like I know what it means, but I'm not as savvy as I used to be. Hey Bideford, good evening, good evening. Hey Tio, hope you're doing well. I am, thank you very much. Discount Killer, good evening. Hey can you hold fiat as buying power on Bitget? I don't think so. Everything I have on Bitget is all USTD, I believe. They might add it eventually. I know I talked to them actually about this about a month ago now, and they're trying to go through the regulatory tape, if you will, to allow U.S. banks to connect to their exchange, because they're in Singapore, and although Singapore is very nice, right? Ask Lollipop. But there's a lot of red tape, and they're trying to get through the banks right now, and apparently there's like, you know, the government's kind of like slow walking, if you will. So I think sometime later on this year you're going to be able to like use a transfer money from your bank directly on a Bitget. That way you don't have to transfer USTD on there if you didn't want to, right? Because right now the process is pretty annoying. You got to have money in like a Coinbase wallet or a Robinhood wallet now, or any other type of wallet. Then you have to pay to transfer that USTD or whatever crypto coin you want to, the Bitcoin, whatever, over to Bitget. Then sell it for USTD if you're doing Bitcoin or something like that. And then you have to, you know, buy it, right? So it's a process. I grant you that right now. But for now, no. I think you can only hold USTD, or you can't just have like USD in there. Sorry, that's a better way to say it. What's right here as well? Hey Jay, hey Jamie. Let's see. Hey Corbin. Last time I watched you had COVID. Yeah. Right now, my throat is getting better. It's nothing COVID related here. What happened is, like in my bathroom, underneath the house, there was a pipe that not burst but kind of leaking, and mold was there. And so like this whole week I've been having people come in and clean everything out, and it's expensive, let me tell you that. But basically there was like some mold, and I'd been breathing it in, and that's what's causing my throat to freaking mess up. So I'm kind of just taking more antibiotics now, getting it over my system. I took Loki to the vet to make sure he's fine. Loki's perfectly fine apparently, so that's good. But basically I guess yeah, some pipe broke down there. I had told my grandma that there was a weird smell coming from there from like last year, and so I probably been breathing this in for a while. My grandmother never fixed it, and so I'm kind of really irritated at my grandmother right now. You know, it'll be over pretty soon. Then I can get back to being healthy again, because it's a freaking pain in my neck. I thought about actually going into a hotel for a little bit of time, but then I'd have to move all this crap, and I was like, okay, it's fine. As long as I have the bathroom sealed off, it should be fine. So I'm using the bathroom upstairs. Thank God for multi-bathroom homes. But yeah, it's been the biggest pain. So I guess, you know, when my immune system was really torn up by COVID, that's when it actually started to affect me. Because Loki's never shown any symptoms. My mom did when she got out of the hospital, and we were trying to figure out what it was, but it was just because my grandmother never fixed the pipes. So after I told her when I moved in here, you gotta fix the pipes. She never did. So that's the bummy part of today. The good thing is it's getting fixed. I don't have to worry about it, and I'm moving to Belize in a year, so I'm fine. Oh, I think I'm gonna plan a trip out to Belize actually in August. So I am thinking here that maybe I will take a vacation during that time, or maybe just do a few streams or a few things from my phone and just making a quick couple of videos about technical analysis or something I see, but I won't be streaming during that time unless it's like just a, hey guys, I'm at the beach chilling, how you doing? That type of thing, right? See, hey Corbin, is the bull market just cooling off? I wouldn't say it's necessarily cooling off, but it depends on what you think about bull market. Bitcoin of itself is cooling off here a little bit, but I think it's because, not really because of any major things going on in Bitcoin's world. I think it's because the stock market had a really bad day today. And something I've complained about here for probably the past like 4 or 5 months now is maybe 3 months, we've started to see Bitcoin follow this S&P 500, like as far as price movements. Even when the Federal Reserve comes out and they do the rate hikes and they announce what their levels are going to be, the S&P 500 will boost up a little bit first, then Bitcoin will follow, and I'm not liking that as much. And you start to see that kind of having the negative effects now. On the other side, you might say that the S&P 500's rally that we saw over the past week also contributed to Bitcoin's rally here, right? So I'm going to have to adjust a little bit of my technical analysis theories based on that, and I'm not liking that at all. But overall, I'm still fine with where Bitcoin's at right now. I do want to see it consolidate a little bit longer and actually break out above the 200 here, and we'll see if it's able to do that going forward. But if we do break down below this level today, we're going to be breaking down between one Ganfan level, and we could potentially come back today all the way back down to 44,000, which is our Ganfan level of support. It was resistance here, support there, no support there, kind of just broke down, had to break out above it, and yeah, that's about it for there. So that's something I'm concerned about today, is if we do have a really bad day, it may take us all the way down here to $44,055. So I'm going to be watching for that mostly over the next few, the next day or so. Next day. Excuse me. Got something right here. I do not trade any binary options. I don't like doing any of that type of stuff. Technical analysis has always been easier than binary options, always, in my opinion. Unless you're trying to trade only breakouts, and then you got to be very careful even then. Hey Monica, I'm with you. We both have a lot of BGB diamond hands all the way. Yeah, I'll let you know what they tell me as far as the island's concerned, because I'm pretty interested, and I'm very interested to see that they bought an island. I'll message the guy right now, actually. Let me go over here very fast. Telegram. What am I looking at here? I don't use it enough to know everybody. Oh, he actually just messaged me a few minutes ago. There we go. Okay. And we are seeing Bitcoin come down here a little bit. Not really breaking down yet. This could just be part of a wick, but you see kind of a double top here, and we're breaking down below that neckline. So bottom, but neckline, 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 top, top, and kind of breaking down from here. So we'll see what happens. What's it here? Hey, W, this was just a blip from the EU ruling already bouncing back. Oh, EU is doing something today? That makes sense. Because I thought we had some good news from the EU as far as them withdrawing some type of legislation. You know, the one that might kind of clamp down on crypto just a little bit here. But I guess they're doing some stuff here anyway. For the win. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, see, I'm old at my age of 27. There you go. Let's see. Oh, I'm guessing, did GameStop do something really good today? Let's see. It's still going up pretty well. There we are. Let's see. Hey, Brighties. Happy to see you back, my man. Hope you're doing well today. Hey, 2009. So if we go down to the low 40s, is that does the breakout reset and then we go back to where we were last week? No. So we broke out of that 45,800 and something level. Okay, 821 on this chart. We broke out of it. So next time we get tested out, it's not going to be nearly the same type of level of resistance that we had to deal with in the past. Once you break out from something, it's much easier to, like, you know, break back down and come back up. It's no longer a sturdy level of resistance, if you will. If we were to go back down to the low 40,000s range, though, right down here, we're going to have support around the Fibonacci level. But what I would be looking at here is more, not of the daily chart, I'd be looking more of the weekly chart here. So go over here, naked chart, let's delete this stuff or move to the side. All right. So here's the daily. Here we go with the weekly, right? Because if we have a false breakout over this, that means we might have a very long candle this week, over the next couple of days, that would take us back down to like the low 40s, right? Just because when you break down below candles, it's usually pretty bad right here. And this is a weekly one, so it would lead to a pretty bad red week here. After all the positivity we've had over here, those moving averages are not going to help us out at all here. And okay, so I don't want to explain this. So as far as that resistance, this was the resistance we were trying to break out above. It took a while, but we were finally able to do it. Fantastic. All right. And let me put on some fib levels here just so we can kind of see what's going on. Which ones were more accurate last time? I think it was these ones. Yeah, bottom, okay. Just for my eyes, I'm going to take the background down a little bit. Okay. So we got that. Longer term fib levels down here. Shorter term fib levels right here. So we do have some support right here. You saw this was actually resistance, 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 resistance. We do have a little bit of support right now, $44,555. We'll see how well that holds. But my main point here is if we do consolidate this week or over the, like during April may be 3 weeks, if we take a big move down here, 3 weeks of doing nothing but consolidating, doing small waves, and then maybe the last week of April or mid-April, we actually have that big surge going forward, right? That would happen if we did take this longer move down here, or we would continue to break down, which would be a very bad sign. Kind of going back into that theory I had about the death cross leading to us still moving down to the 200 weekly moving average here, right? This right here. And let me see if I can actually change this one up a little bit. That would look out a little better. Looks a little bit better for this one, but not really what I want to see. Yeah. Yeah, I won't use that one. Okay. Back over here. Yeah, but I'm more concerned about us breaking back down below that 20-week moving average. That would be pretty nasty for us. It'll just mean a longer red candle on the weekly chart, which means we go back to the low 40s, excuse me, and then I don't think it's gonna be disaster, but of course, like remember what I told you guys. One of my least favorite scenarios here is if we did break out, we went up a little bit, and then we started coming back down because all the people up here would be buying, and even we took some positions, right? But it wasn't, then we might be coming back down, and while I had a stop loss at, if I can show it to you right here, the moment the pattern broke, so that, you know, we broke down below these lows, like, so higher lows we broke down, a lot of people might have bought up here on the breakout than actually held on longer than they ought to have. And I mean, they could have held it actually until now if they really wanted to, because of this trend line support here. But you get my point. It's just going to be bad for people's enthusiasm about Bitcoin going forward here. There you go. But we did just break down below this trend line here. Well, I mean, we broke down on the 15-minute chart. We'll see if it continues to go down this path. We got 10 more minutes before the half an hour closes. Hopefully we can be up before then. Excuse me. What's it here? Any thoughts on Loopring? I have like $100 investment in it that I bought like a little bit ago, but it's more of a long-term hold to see if it does anything better. So far, it's had some nice volatility. I've preferred to day trade it, but I think it was worth me just tossing it $100 to see where it goes in the future. I think the project's fine. Hey, whatever. Making a bunch of sheep, hoping a third or penny long term. Yeah, sheep and sheep should be a good long term hold. I hope. It's been accepted a lot more than you might have thought over the past year. You know, it used to just have the name of the Doge killer or something like that. But now it seems to be like there's a lot of long term holders with it. It's not as volatile as everything else as it used to be, right? Like Doge and so forth. So it seems like it's been doing pretty well so far. GameStop wants to split. Oh, why would they do that? Why would they do that? That'd be interesting to see, but probably not the best market to do it in. I'll be excited to see what happens there if they're able to split properly. That could be a good short-term boom, and that could really help out those who want to day trade it, or those who want to buy some crazy options. That'd make their lives a lot easier. So if they do split, keep me informed. I'll try to keep myself informed as well, and we might do some type of YOLO play on it together. I think that'd be pretty fun. Why is this different than this? I feel like something's wrong there. 81.21, 81.22.21. So much different here. Hold on one second, guys. Yeah, something's up with it. It's always the second chart. I don't know, but it's not. We're not really breaking down below this purple line right now. Yeah, this is a little wonked up right now because we're not. Yeah, see how we're not really bouncing off of it, huh? And it's locked too. Hold on one second here, guys. So let's go there. If I do this. Nope, I messed up something. I will fix it later. For now, delete it. For now, delete it. If I can't trust the lines, there's not really a reason for them to be on the chart. Sometimes I mess stuff up while moving stuff around, so I'm not too concerned about it though. Alright. Hey, skills-based gamer. I don't know if it means anything, but there's still a metric ton of liquidity at 30,000 to 32,000. Yeah, no, it's performing pretty. As far as Bitcoin's concerned, there still is a lot of people looking to buy down at lower prices. I think with that $30,000 range, maybe is like we heard talk about certain industries looking to buy a bunch of Bitcoin, basically. And if I was them, I wouldn't want to be paying this much money for Bitcoin, and I don't think they do. So maybe they're just waiting to see if Bitcoin falls down that low. They can buy a whole bunch of it, right? Because 30,000 is basically at a few support levels for us too, so that may help us out a little bit as well. But I don't want to go back down to 30,000, and well, I wouldn't mind it because I can buy a whole bunch. But you know, a lot of people would feel really bad if their crypto portfolios drop down that much. But yeah, if we head back down towards the low 30s, it'll be a ride for sure. I still want to put limit orders down in the high 20s here, like the $26,000, $27,000 range at least. in case something were to, unless we were to have a major drop over April for some reason, right? Because historically, April is a very green month, right? Historically, it's really good. Normally, like 33% average. But last year we went down 1%, so I'm wondering if this year maybe, you know, history is just kind of breaking that trend here, and maybe we're going to start having more bullish months that aren't really the standard ones, and maybe we have more bearish months where we used to have more bullish months, if that makes sense, right? But there we go. Let me put this back on the 5 here. But if we take a look here on the majority of other charts, you know, you saw Ethereum get rejected from the 200 as well. Oh, okay. The guy sent me something about the Bitget thing, about the island. I'll look at it a little bit later. I feel bad though because I opened it, so now he knows I saw it, and I'm not going to respond. I'll respond in a little bit. But you see Ethereum trying to hold on to the Fibonacci level right here. You see our resistance right there. Actually support right there. So this Fibonacci's been doing pretty well for us. This one not as reliable. Usually a reversal area. Reversal. Kept on going finally after a short-term reversal. So we're hoping to hold this one as far as Ethereum's concerned. Not as likely, but we're trying to here, right? Doge didn't really reach any major level of resistance here. Went up to about 15 cents. That was the price target we had, right? Actually, went a little bit above it to 15.35, but 15 was really that price target that we talked about. Coming back down now, or Doge might come back down to 13.28, not even a penny less than where it's now. Matic got rejected by the 200 as well. The 200s are pretty powerful things right now. ADA had a great run after each breakout here. Well, this breakout more, but hit resistance, wasn't able to break out above it. XRP 200, each 200, yeah. Broke out. Yeah, Luna broke out. I bought some. I stopped lost for 0 gain. Maybe like $5-10 bucks, but I mean, really nothing, no profit there. And this was a real bummer because look at this. Luna went to all-time highs, and normally when you hit all-time highs, you expect a nice little surge coming out of it, but nope, not even. Like, you know, we talked about BGB a little bit here. So usually, you know, when you have this like a little bit of consolidation, like this used to be the all-time highs here, right? You consolidate, but then when you break out of it, you usually have a nice surge right there. But it just seems people were too worried about Bitcoin, and so nobody really bought into that breakout. So it just kind of didn't go anywhere, unfortunately. Like, because usually breakout, like, remember, we broke out here for Bitget. Broke out, it rallied 72%, right? Really beautiful gains. Beautiful gains. Then it came all the way back down here, about 33%. Before ultimately making that next run where it went, I don't know where that run took us, you know, up another 80% or so, and then we died back down, had a double bottom, broke out. Now we're here, hoping to have another all-time high pretty soon. We're we're about a half a penny away from an all-time high here, so I'm hoping for another surge. But again, this is a lower market cap coin. This market cap is only, what is it now? A couple days ago it was 100 million. Now, yeah, 104 million dollars. You know. So it's a very low market cap, so it can have those surges. Meanwhile, you know, Luna is definitely in the billions of market cap here, but still a great coin, right? Still great for long term, but yeah, definitely a bummer it wasn't able to continue that little bit of a breakout there. Sheep ran into the 200 as well. Sheep still looks okay. Breakout was fine. It's coming back down to his support. Sheep can have a golden cross pretty soon. I'd be happy to see that go down. EOS, not the 200, got to resistance, probably some way back over here or something, yeah. EOS doing a little bit of reversal. Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic could have another golden cross here pretty soon. Maybe they can surge it back up, but you gotta be careful, otherwise Ethereum Classics can come back down here to low 40s. Dot, resistance at the Fibonacci level right here, or no, that's just level of resistance, excuse me. STMX, those beautiful pops it has. Well, actually, STMX doesn't look too bad compared to everything else. It's still moving up here bit by bit. I might have a stop loss on it, but I can consider myself doing a more aggressive swing trade here. And this might only be for like a day or half a day, but if it had a nice surge above the 200, I would probably sell it somewhere up there, maybe around 0.24, excuse me. Yeah, I'll put this on the watch list. This thing really has these wild kind of pumps, which I really do enjoy, but I usually sell on the pumps. Like I sold right here. I bought some more down here the other day. I sold a little bit yesterday, came back down. I stopped out of the rest of it, and maybe I'll buy some more today. Huh. Yeah, that is interesting. Especially if Bitcoin's able to kind of hold this trend line here and rebound, STMX could be a good one. Again, short-term play. FTM, no. FTM ran into the 50 moving average here, and that trend line broke, so yeah, not even going to try that. There we are. ICP coming back down. Link broke out, didn't do anything. Litecoin broke out, didn't do anything. Well, small move. Mana. Elon, old resistance, wasn't able to break out above it. Sol doesn't look too bad either. Sol's still going strong. XLM turning around. Oh, we just have Bitcoin and Gala. Not so hot. Okay. Could be better. Oh, yeah. You see Bitcoin took that little bit of a dip there. What did that look like? Yeah, it just kept on going slow and slow. Slower and slower, excuse me. And there we go. That was kind of weird. Oh, it was after close. Thank you. That makes sense. That makes sense. I didn't look at after market hours. Let's see. Hey, Discount Killer. The best thing you can do for crypto is to hold long term. But if you're not going into crypto thinking of long term gains, you got to make sure you have a stop loss. I don't know if it's in this video or not. I can check for you very fast. If not, I can add it in here really quick. So which stream is this one? It's this one right here. Yeah, okay, so if I go here, I did put it in here, okay. So I'd recommend you get this trading journal if you haven't already. It'll start telling you what patterns you're good at and what patterns you're not good at. And that way, oh, that's the wrong one. That's the tips one. There it is. This is like a little bit of explanation if you wanted it. But that way you could enter your information into this one. It's a blank one that I made for you guys. And basically, after you enter in your, shares, leverage, price target, opening price, and closing price, and stop loss, what it'll do is it'll take all the data, it'll put it on the table form for you in a list over here, and it'll start showing you what's making you the most money and what's making you lose the most money. That way you stop those bad habits and focus your capital into what those good habits you might have are. There we go. See. And hey, Crypto Hash, you didn't miss anything so far. Let's see. Sorry, I just saw your question here a couple seconds ago. Can I take a look at Crow? Yeah, I should really put Crow on my list. I don't know why I haven't yet. Coinbase, will that work out for us? Yeah, it'll be fine. Okay. So, Crow ran into the Fibonacci level, was not able to break out above it, but got pretty close, and it did, was a good selling area if you wanted to take it there. Right now, yesterday we actually broke down below this Fibonacci level here, so Crow might actually be coming back down here to 43 cents or so, 43 and a half, which isn't too much. I mean, what is that going to be? Yeah, like 5%. So I might come back down a little bit more. The breakout was beautiful. So far we know this little bit of a trend line right here is pretty much over. Let me verify that before I say anything more. No, it still has some life in it, but I'll keep this on for now. But basically, this rally here, there we are. This breakout netted about a 27.5% profit. Most people probably might have sold some around here or even on the down day, so maybe about a 20% profit, if you will. But this was a very, very good play. It's back into consolidation time, looks like, for some of these coins, maybe even Bitcoin itself. And from there, we'll see if we can make some more money off of it. Medium term, maybe it might come down. Yeah, it's like 44 cents or so, especially if we break down here. Then we might come back down to 40 cents, so be aware of that. But for now, it's still this upward trend line. If you wanted to have a short-term stop loss for it to protect yourself, you could be using this trend line right here. And that will probably be somewhere around here, about 45 cents even, a little bit less than a penny away from where it is now. more in long-term theory here, not too bad. I would still be holding this for the long term here, but short term, yeah, be careful with it. It had a beautiful run. It needs to cool down off a little bit. This was a really good run here that we saw this year, or this week. There we go. And there we go. We're trying to consolidate above the Ganfan level. Trying. See. Hey, Skills-Based Gamer. I can't be pessimistic every time I start doubting crypto. I just remember the freak out when I started in 2013. Yeah, exactly. Well, it really depends on how you guys are wanting to trade crypto. So I have tons of long-term positions that I've been adding to over the years. All right. Now, there were times when I was very depressed that crypto went down, and I was like, I should have sold or whatever. But then I realized like later on, oh, we just went higher than where we were before, and I was like, okay, well, this is the mindset of somebody that's going to be a long-term investor, right? And then there's people that are swing traders, right? And then and swing trading, it's fun. You can make money off of it. We just talked about that 27% gain off of that breakout. Beautiful, 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 right? But you have to be disciplined enough to have those stop losses in place to mitigate those losses. So I bought Bitcoin at 46,000, and I was expecting us to get to at least 52,000, hopefully breaking it out above the 200 daily moving average. We didn't do it in a fast enough motion. We broke back down below my buy-in price of 46,000, but I had a stop loss around like 46,700, so I still walked away with some profit, and therefore I didn't walk away with a loss, which is the big thing, right? Now, you see a lot of people, especially with the newer traders, excuse me, they buy, they hold on too long, and they don't put a stop loss in there, of course, and then they become bag holders because of it. And then it kind of turns into a long-term investment where over time it'll eventually be profitable, right? It'll eventually be profitable. But until then, it's a miserable experience, which I tell them normally just to, like the trading journal, forget about that for a while. It's now a long-term investment. You could sell it if you want to and take the loss for taxes. I know a lot of people do that a lot, especially during their first year, because it just helps out a lot. And then it brings back more capital into their portfolio, which they can use it to practice and so forth, especially after you've done a little bit of paper trading. You find out what you're good at, what you're bad at. It's nice to have some capital to trade. Some people only put a few bucks into the market. Some people put their whole life savings into the market. It's a wild swath of people, but crypto trading can be very, very emotional. It can be very, very emotional on upside and the downside. The way I kind of deal with it is the way I deal with it is by trading more conservatively than others. That's what I do. And you guys have seen for a fact, sometimes it means I don't make as much profit. Sometimes it means, as much profit as I want. But at the same time, you've seen how it mitigates a lot of my losses. And that's the big thing here. As long as I am walking with just a little bit of money every trade, I'm happy with it. Now, do I want to walk away with just like 50 bucks per trade? No, I'd want to walk away with a few $100 per trade on average. But sometimes the situation, it just doesn't allow for that, right? So I need to make sure no matter what, I'm not losing money in the market. And I lose money in the market all the time, right? But the losses are so small, it's nothing in comparison for the gains that I make in the market. So, emotions are going to hit you either way. But, sometimes it can be hard when you have that butterflies in your stomach type of effect, right? I don't really have it anymore these days, but I had it a lot when I was there was the short right there. I had it a lot when I first started trading, but not as much now. But yeah, what do you call it? Those butterflies, I wouldn't recommend trading with butterflies in your stomach. It can really put a damper on the mood, and it can make you do some really stupid stuff. There was a double bottom on the second chart right there. Bottom, broke the neckline, boosh. Now again, this is a short-term little play, but it's nice to see those mini patterns in the second chart. And there's the Ganfan. So if people wanted to buy, that was the buying point for the Ganfan support. Right? So you're seeing a certain amount of people taking the opportunity right now. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens here. So, 45,000 pretty much. It'll be interesting to see if we can bounce here, especially since we just broke down. But again, this isn't a daily candle here, so we could just be doing a day trade on that one for as far as these investors are concerned. Let's see. Hey, Byford. Bearish flow on coin and Mar too. Oh, Mara too, yeah. It's going to be an interesting day, guys. I mean, we're testing out the first GAN fan right here. We've held it pretty beautifully as of now, but, you know, we'll check it out. And, of course, these GAN fans can always be a little bit off on the upside and the downside. So we'll see if it can actually hold or not. This is not a GAN fan right here. This is just a support level, I assume. It's just a trend line, yeah. But it's trying. Hey, it's gonna kill Affirm. Yeah, Affirm has been pretty interesting over the years. Here we go. Yeah. What the heck was this for? Oh, well, we're just trying to find the red subs for it because that's a weird, yeah, that's a weird way to do it. But okay, I'll gap up. So Affirm's at 46. 4 bad earnings reports in a row. Yowza. Coming back down here to all-time lows of 26, back up to 46. So it had a nice rally here. It broke out above the 50. The market's taking it back down today. That's unfortunate here. Tomorrow will be an interesting day. So if you have any, be careful because it might break down tomorrow. That could lead to some bad stuff because it's actually going to open up down below this, right? Unless it suddenly gaps up after hours or before the market hours here. I'd be careful of holding this in the short term just in case it does want to come back down here to like the low 40s or so. As far as Affirm is concerned, I'm thinking of buying some for a long-term hold here, but only a little bit, and then even then it'll most likely be plopped into my retirement account and maybe just 20% of it in my regular investment portfolio. That way I'll swing it for, I don't know, maybe a few months to a year or something like that, a little bit more of a longer term hold. But in the short term, I'd be careful of this, especially since I still think the stock market is a little overbought at this moment in time. I think all the indexes should be way, like 20% lower than where they are right now before I really start buying heavily into the stock market. That's just kind of my thoughts. But for now, I'd be careful with it. It looks like it's going to fall down below a downtrend here, and that might not be too good. But your next level of support is going to be around like 40 bucks or so, which will be about a drop of about 10-12%. So just be aware of that. Hopefully it's able to break out, or not break out, but at least hold tomorrow and actually move up a little bit higher, maybe back up to $50. That could save it in the short term, but this is a pretty aggressive trend line here, so I might have to come back down just a little bit before making a move back up. But you know, you're gonna really hope that the stock market's really looking good before you, as a whole, before you buy into this right now. But I mean, it had a nice rally. You are gonna see some people sell off now because they've made some great profits. Like all the people that bought down here. Let's say you bought way over here. You still made about 26%. Doing pretty well. But in the short term, yeah, be careful with it. Long term though, I might start buying more of this. I kind of want to see if I can get a very, very cheap price though beforehand. Now that hurt me on Robinhood. I only bought well, I bought a decent amount of Robinhood, but I wanted to buy more, and we all know that Robinhood kind of had some big pops. No hood, there we go. We all know that Robinhood had this big old pop up here to like 1650 or so. Same type of thing. They've been both going down for a while here, Robinhood and Affirm. I think long-term holds are going to be fine. Short-term, be a little bit more concerned. The good thing for Robinhood though is that it does look like it's going to have a golden cross here pretty soon. Maybe that could help it out a little bit more. But I'm accumulating Robinhood for a long-term hold, and I'm hoping I can get more under $10. Like yeah, some under $10, usually not more, but some under $10. Hey Carl, not really as far as electronic music. So I'm very weird when it comes to music. Like I like what I like and I don't like what I don't like. I like music from like almost every single genre, but I'm really bad at remembering names of songs and people. When it comes to what was the exact type you used, electronic music band, I have no idea. No idea. I don't like. You know, there was kids in school that could sing songs, you know, like by remembering the lyrics. I would never once in my entire like preschool to high school, I never once remembered a song. I think that's because I have a really bad memory, but I never, or maybe it's just ADHD, I never remembered one song that entire time that I listened to. It's really weird, but I have no idea who my favorites are in electronic music band. I like what I like and I don't like what I don't like. It's a very weird thing to say, but like I have a lot of friends who hate country music. I particularly like think country music's fine, but I only like a specific few songs in the country genre, like Wagon Wheel, stuff like that. Let's see if we can have a little bit of a pop here. That might be kind of nice to see. Hey, Skills-Based Gamer. My rule of thumb is to not overthink the terminology. It's called taking profit. Take it while it's there. If not all, at least partial, to ease my emotions when there's any sign of doubt. Yeah, scaling, yeah. And partly, it's much easier to scale out when you're not in the stock market. Remember, stock market, well, not all of you, but a lot of you guys probably are limited by the pattern day trading rule, which means you guys don't have $25,000 in your account to cover all the margins from them, fronting you the cash to do all these day trades, right? Partly what happened with the GameStop fiasco. In crypto, you guys can day trade as much as you want and there's no regulation stopping you, and it's a beautiful thing because it allows you to do as much day trading as you want to in a real market environment, right? Now, I preach that you guys do some paper trading and to learn kind of the basics and stuff like that, and then use the trading journal, to kind of master your skills and use data to figure out what you're good at and what you're bad at, right? But when you have the ability to scale out, that opens up more opportunities to take profit, way more opportunities to take profit. And man, Bitcoin's going down again a little bit here before the GAN fan. 234, right here. Yeah, it's getting a nasty little drop here. Hold on one second here. There you go. We'll wait it out. It's still trying to hold here. It's still trying to hold. We'll see who wins this battle out, but each time it is going a little bit lower. Let's see. A little bit mindset. Consistency is more important than the number. Oh yeah. Well, remember all the time when the market was more bullish, and I give you guys plays like every other day or something like that. The main thing I talked about is don't worry about how much money I'm making because we're trading different amounts of capital. What I always wanted you guys to focus on is the percentage returns, and then when I scaled out. The golden example, which I will show you for a long time to come here, is when we were looking at Apple. And this was a simple symmetrical triangle breakout. Very, very simple breakout to trade, right? So I bought some on the breakout. I bought some towards the end of the day at 133. I held to my rule, and I could have bought it a lot lower if I wanted to, but I didn't. And I lost out on some profit. Not a lot, but some profit there, right? Well, now this was options, so the gains were a little bit different, right? But let's just say that was holding stock. Well, the first time I sold some was after a 2.16% gain, okay? And I was fine with that. But that means if it came back down, I would still have some good profits to walk away with. And I just sold about 10% of my options right there, just 10%. Now, I went a little bit higher here, kept on holding until we held this support. And the only reason I kept on holding really was because we kept on going up, right? Green day after green day after green day after green day. And then I sold some here, and that was fine. Sold like another 20%. I sold another 20% over here as we were testing it out. I saw that we failed, so I sold a little bit more. And I finally sold some right here. And then I could have held on a little bit longer if I wanted to, but I was afraid since my options were close to expiring, I just wanted to get rid of them and sell all of them. They were all in the money by that point, but because when I buy options right here, I buy 135 strike price. And it went up to all the way, it looked like, 145. I'm fine with that. And the returns at the end of it was like 1,000% gains, but like some of them were only at 200%, some were at 300%, some were at 400%. And even with Bitcoin here, what we just saw a little bit ago, over the last few days, I was trying to do GAN fans on here, I believe. So why is that like that though? Oh, the GAN fans are gone. Oh, I took them off because something weird was happening. But okay, I'll use this chart as an example. So I bought the breakout on this one right here, and I told you guys the day before yesterday, so right here, that no, it was a few days ago. Sorry. Okay, but I basically told you I scaled out 5% at the 200 moving average because it was that first level of resistance. So even though I stopped out with a small amount of profit because I ended up buying here and selling right there once we broke down below this low, I still was able to lock in some profit with here and here, while also making sure no matter what happens, I didn't lose any money because we still broke out. There was still movement there, but this profit was not anywhere near as much as we wanted it to be, right? Frankly, right? That sucked. That was a horrible breakout. And the 200 daily moving average really stopped us, and that's where it goes back down to us talking a lot about the different moving averages here and how they all do make a difference. Auto, daily, and this kind of goes back to that thing of why I use a simple moving average more than any other average. While the exponential is a great moving average to use, right? I know a lot of you guys use it. I'm not smacking it at all, but you can see how we broke above the 200 on the EMA, we broke above the 200 on the TEMA, triple exponential moving average, and we broke above the DEMA, double exponential moving average, the 200 moving average here, all of them, right? They were all levels of resistance, we broke above all of them, but the simple one, that's the one we finally get rejected from. Out of all of them, the simple one, the strongest, the one that weighs all data equally, and it doesn't change the weight to kind of fit different other patterns, right? Now, I'm not overly concerned about this. This just means we're gonna have to consolidate a little bit longer. Again, this right here is the trend line I'm more concerned about. Of course, I'm concerned about this larger one here, but we're not even close to breaking down below that one. This one right here is the one where we, over the next few days, we might be coming back down to $43,000. You'll probably see a bunch of people look to buy in at that price. And if we start breaking down from that, that's when we might start saying, whoa, you know, 30,000's range again. What's going on here? All the happiness that we saw from the breakout, it's going to be like pop, right? And everybody's gonna be like, oh no, not again, blah, 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 blah. Even though, you know, for the nibbles that I sold, right? All the nibbles that I sold, they, like, let's say I bought Bitcoin down here. I mean, they still return like 20% profits for the nibbles if you bought some of the average area right here. Some probably bought lower, some probably bought higher. Doesn't matter, but the average, right? So it's going to be a tricky time, but what you can say? We might have to consolidate a little bit longer to get above the 200. And of course, we still have a few days left here. So that, again, we might even just hold this support, curl back down, and then make a move up. We don't know yet, but definitely, if you guys are looking to trade, you guys have to be able to take even the smallest amount of profits, like even the 5% profit. Just this, I mean, well, not a little bit, yeah, but this, the smallest amounts of profit you guys can. It wasn't even 5%, it was like 2-3% profit or something like that. But you get my point there, right? Now back over here to the main charts. We can leave this one. Yeah, I don't need to save anything on it. But man, yeah, they're trying to break us down below the GAN fan. Bitcoin's already down 1% for the day. We're kind of watching this pretty closely here. Oh, and yeah, there we go. The GAN fan held for only 15 minutes, and that's it. And we're already coming back down below it. I wonder if I can do something on my end here to make this work a little bit better for me. Because we do have another GAN fan level right down here at 44,000. We also have a Fibonacci level at 45,456. I want to open a trading view chart right here. I'm gonna move some stuff around here. Give me just a second. I want to put the GAN fans on the seconds chart, but in order to do that, I need to have access to all the numbers at the same time so I can do it a little bit faster. So like when I click on this, you guys can see this coordinates. I want to keep this on the screen while I do another one. But you are seeing Bitcoin take a pretty nasty move already. Well, yeah, I'll say this is nasty, right? But not really. Load. Let's go to main. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we are getting pushed down a little bit today. Jeez. Yeah, shorts are trying to get more aggressive. All right. Okay, but let me do this right here in my head. So I got that coordinates. And let me put a GAN fan in here, just a baby one. I'll put this over here so you guys can't really see it. And then I want a 69,000. And then okay, whatever. And then I want a negative 81,227. And I want a 44,146.05. And then I want a negative 52,715. Does that work? No, it's not working. Why is this being a pain? Yes. Is that what's bugging it out? Normally I would do it manually, but I don't want to do it. Otherwise, I'm just going to give up after this one. So let's go to 81227. Is that what's causing? This is Binance. This is Binance. Okay, I'll deal with it later. I don't have time to worry about it right now. That's a bummer. But again, you know, we're gonna watch this pretty closely anyway. And you guys can see it on the 5-minute chart. It's not like it's much different on the second chart. You just see a little bit more of the precise nature of the moves. There you go. But yeah, we are seeing Bitcoin have a pretty nasty day. This is all part of the rejection of the 200 daily moving average. And guys, it's right. It's also just because the stock market took a nasty time as well. One thing I'll do here very fast is, let's back open here. Let's go over here to CNBC. 2-year, I don't care about ads. 2-year Treasury yield tops 10-year rate. A yield curve inversion that could signal a recession. Oh, it inverted. Yeah. Oh no, this isn't new. This isn't new. We heard about this a couple days ago. Yeah. Let's see. Tops 10-year. Yeah. There are more and more signs that a recession is coming. I've been saying a recession is most likely to come later on this year or next year for months now. And this really didn't have much to do with the Federal Reserve raising interest rates. It had more to do with the fact that inflation is a kind of a tax on people, if you will. You guys probably heard this before. Inflation is a tax. But what happens here is, I'm not talking about the Federal Reserve side. I don't like Jerome Powell. You guys know that his policies are just, he's slow. He's a very slow acting person. He doesn't listen to the data, like, you know, ahead of time, right? But when Americans are forced to pay more for everyday goods, they have less money to spend on luxury goods, the good stuff, the extra stuff, the Amazon stuff, the stuff they get delivered to them, right? And because of that, those sectors of the economy start needing less and less employees, which means they have less and less money to spend on the stuff they want to as well, which gets us into that cycle of a recession, right? Now, I make that sound very, very basic. There's a lot of math and, you know, industries and sectors you guys can all look at when you want to talk about this type of stuff. My main point is you could see this coming for a while now. I still think we're a little bit further off from a recession than all the news heads are talking about. I hope, right? I don't hope a recession comes anytime soon. But, and I am surprised about how fast inflation has been rising. I did not foresee, well, last year I did not foresee Russia invading Ukraine. That's pretty much where the inflation boost is coming from, right? Or the more recent inflation boost. There was already a lot of inflation before the war came off, which has been pretty nasty, right? But, you know, again, every day, okay, I grew up very poor. I know what making gas costs an extra $1 or more. That can be the difference between being able to take your kid to school and not. And I sincerely mean that. Like, there were times when I went to school, because I went to private school growing up on a scholarship because I didn't have the money to go there. There were times where we literally did not have enough money to get to school, right? And so I would end up carpooling with friends and saving money. But it's that type of crazy stuff. And you could bet if I didn't have enough, or if my mom didn't have enough money to get me to school, do you think she was buying Domino's pizza for dinner, or going to Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or any of these nicer places and stuff like that? No. If if she had more money because the gas prices were low and everything was kind of like a little bit cheaper, then maybe she would have some money to get me some newer clothes, newer shoes, something like that. But the fact that gas was going up, we couldn't afford it. I'm not getting new shoes. I'm not getting a new belt, new school thing, or nothing like that. And the people that work in those industries, if enough of Americans stop having that, if they have that same problem, you're going to see them saying, "Hey, we're not making enough money this month. I'm going to need to lay somebody off until the market kind of like the market kind of fixes itself, if you will." Right? So it's that type of stuff where I come from inflation. It's like real world inflationary impacts, if you will. Right? I used to want to become into politics, so I used to have all this stuff kind of labeled out. But man, inflation is really bad. Again, if you're in Congress, they care, but they don't really feel it. Like, I don't feel inflation. I don't, not anymore, because I make enough money. I make enough money where I don't have to. But I felt it before, and I know how bad it can really get. Or just the fact that, gas prices go up, right? Not really as bad inflation as this. This is a whole other level of inflation. But this will have bad effects on the market long term. And I believe you're already seeing the effects that people aren't spending as much money as they otherwise might have if there was no war in Ukraine, or if we had, like, I don't know, more pro-oil policies. I don't know how to really say that in a better way. But, the oil industry right now doesn't know what to do, because at the beginning of the administration, they were saying, we're going to get rid of oil and fossil fuels. We're going to go to green energy, right? But now they're saying, hey, we need you to make more oil. But if they make more oil right now, will the administration later on say, hey, cut off the oil? Who cares? If you lose some money there, we want to go green. And if you're not green, you're killing the planet. That type of stuff. So everybody's kind of in this weird switcheroo place. And it'll be interesting to see how everything gets sorted out. I think Biden announced that he's going to let out 1 million barrels of oil out of the reserves today. That will help about 10 cents, lower to the gas 10 cents. But remember, it's not going to help you guys right away, or me right away, or anybody right away. Because remember, he's releasing oil, not gas. Oil. That oil has to go get refined, right, into gasoline, and then it has to get sent out. And that's going to take some time here, unfortunately, because they just don't have an army of trucks waiting to take all the oil out. They have to go into the market and say, hey, truckers, we need you to take the oil, refine it, and go through the whole process. It's going to be a while before that really affects you guys, to be honest. I don't know why he said it. Well, it's politics, but still, it's going to be a hassle. Let's see. Here. Hey, Moonshine, Dub. Let's see. I mean, yeah, it's not. Oh, well, maybe on the daily candle it's more like a dump. But right now we're just kind of doing this slow little downtrend here. But yeah, it is going down for sure. Definitely going down for sure here. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, Michael. Very, very repetitive. Yeah, I know, right? This very slow consolidation that we've been seeing over a while. We had some hope the other day as we broke out of it finally, only to get rejected by the 200 and start the consolidation again. It is very, very repetitive, and I believe you probably. Well, let me go over here. I mean, let's see what people are saying about it, right? Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, that's nice. March close 45,517. Cool. I haven't heard of Plan B in a while. I think he got a lot of flack for being wrong, but I mean, everybody's wrong. I mean, every once in a while, it's not a bad thing. I think people just believed in them too much. They all loaded up more than they otherwise ought to have, and then when it didn't go his way, everybody was mad at him. But again, it's not his fault. He just gave his opinion. People followed it. And I think he said like $90,000 for November or something like that. I'm like, I didn't agree with it, but it wasn't it was plausible, even if it was a little, out there. But he had been right the previous 2 times. Oh my gosh, except Bitcoin for 20. I don't know how much those fees would be, but that's insane. I'm logging Bitcoin here. Wish me luck. Oh. Legit tired of this curse. Yeah. Please. Oh, we're already at 44,931. Oh God. Oh man. That people feel like they have that issue, right? Anything else going over here? Latest. There we go. Let's see. Not much going on here, but yeah. Yeah. Hopefully that guy feels better. I hope he didn't put any leverage behind it right now, because that's why I trade breakouts and patterns and have my stop losses all kind of in like my my I's dotted, my T's crossed, because that way you don't have to worry about any of this stuff. I bought the breakout, but if I was still holding, I would be losing money. But since I had a stop loss, I only made a few percent, but I still made some money off of it. You guys gotta be very, very careful about how you approach these types of swings, especially when we have major levels of resistance above us, like the 200 daily moving average. If we would have broken that, that would have been a game changer, but we didn't. At least maybe not for another week or so, or a few more days here, hopefully. Hey, this is Killer. Do you buy stocks for dividends? And if you do, what's your favorite one? I don't usually buy any more right now as far as new stocks with dividends. When I did, my favorite used to be Boeing, but Boeing took away its dividends. Boeing had plane crashes, and it just kind of, that's the end of it. If I was to find a dividend stock for you, what would it be? It'd be a high growth one in the software business if possible, but I don't know if they have any. While we're kind of waiting for Bitcoin to kind of consolidate, I can look for one very fast. It won't take more than a minute. I have a preset for it. Undervalued. So there's undervalued dividend growth, and there's another one I have with dividends. What's the other one at? Dividend growth. Yeah, that's a grow one. Oh, huh. Thought I had another one, but I can always change it here. So dividend yield, let's go to over 2%. That takes us down to 27. Charts. Not charts, let me see. Gold asset management, no. Auto parts, no. Banks. You can go with Bank of America. That one's not too bad, but I just wouldn't recommend buying it right now. Computer hardware, Dell. Yeah, I have quite a bit of Dell. Just Dell has a high market cap. Well, let's open Dell here 1 second, then let's see what the next page is. Hewlett Packard always been fine, but they haven't really been innovating anything lately. That's my problem with them. Ally, yeah, Ally's fine. Ford, maybe Ford. It really depends. So okay, Ford. First of all, the dividend is about 2.37%. Probably the top on my list, only because I assume, I believe Ford will get a higher market cap over the years here, and I think it'll, probably do get back into the 40 years or something like that, which I'd really enjoy seeing that happen. But I think Ford is fine if you want, again, 2.37, right? It's not a lot, but it's enough to kind of get you in there, and it does make a difference, but you got to buy a certain amount. And the reason I say this one is because it's very, very cheap, so you can own a bunch of shares, because you're not going to be owning fractional shares with the dividends and stuff like that. It'll just be too much of a mess. Ally is another cheap one. I would only consider buying this if the market really did take a major downturn. You could buy this for like under 35 bucks or so. That'd be a lot lower than what it is now. It's at 44 bucks right now. I'd be happy with that one, but the dividend is about the same as 2.3%. I think it's good for a longer term hold, but credit cards usually don't do too well in these types of markets, because if people are spending less money, less swipes, less income, less loans for these guys specifically, right? So that's that one. Hewlett Packard, okay. The dividend is fine, 2.87. This one's been kind of stagnant here for a while. I'm really hoping that like somewhere in the future, Hewlett Packard will just get bought out by another corporation. That's kind of my long-term hope for this company. I bought this back during COVID, so I got a pretty good deal about it, but I think right now it's still fine. I would be looking to buy it personally around 14 bucks if you could wait that long. maybe even 15 bucks if you wanted to start buying, and then 2.87% dividend growth. It's fine. I really want Hewlett Packard to be bought out one day. That's literally the only reason I really hold it besides the dividends. And because the market cap is 21 billion. There's a lot of companies that can buy that in an instant. Then Dell has 2.63%. This one's been fine, but again, 37 million market cap. I don't expect it to get bought out or anything like that. Dell just doesn't seem to really be as innovative, or maybe they are innovative, but they don't seem to have a reputation for being the thing. I'm hoping for them particularly, they'll fire their marketing guy, CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, and put something that's innovative that can really understand how to get them back at being that premier product. It's going to be very, very hard for them, but I'm hoping they can do that someday. Probably my least favorite of them, but it's still like, these are all fine plays, like good plays even. It's just that like I'm really picky when I do my long-term gains, and I'd be hoping to buy Dell back like in the low 40s range. I get very, very cheap or frugal, whatever you want to call it, when I'm looking at my long-term plays here. But all those are good if you wanted to hold them for long-term. They will all make you money in the long term, especially if you just kind of hold throughout this market thing. But I'd be looking to buy in the circumstance that the market comes down quite a bit more, right? There we go. Hey Monica, Bitget buying an island is a good or bad thing? I mean, I'm sure it's a good thing. I'm pretty sure it's going along with some type of competition here. So if I go over here to Bitget very fast, I think they might have an announcement on it. They go up, did it break out 21 again? No, it didn't. It was above 21 a while ago. There was a big wall there that it broke it, but come back down a little bit since. Support more BGB. I still wanted to see if I can stake. Launchpad. Ended. No, I don't know where their what do you call section is? Assets. This one came out today. Anything about? Okay, here we go. So it's a token sale on this one on their website. I'll look more into it, but I know the island thing has something to do with this type of contest that they're running. I'll probably try to buy some of this just to see what happens here. No idea about the coin. I need to do some research on it before I do. But I'll let you guys know what the guy says. He sent me a message. Probably the link before April 6th. Let's see. Yeah, I'll figure it out, and I'll see if I can get some tokens for it. But yeah, I don't know why a company would buy an island, but hey, they have capital to do so. So let's see what happens with the island. Because if I'm moving down to Belize and they bought a Caribbean island, I'm gonna try to get as many free trips as I can, because I plan on moving to Belize hopefully next summer. I want to spend the next year with my sister and mom, and then next summer I'll make the move. And I think that'll be good for my type of schedule and stuff going forward here. But yeah, I'll see. I'll learn more about that island. That's a pretty interesting thing. Hey David, I did buy ADA a couple months ago below $1, so that's profit. Exactly. Well, you got to hold long enough, right? And then you also just got to have your stop loss in case it doesn't go your way. But it went your way, and you made a good amount of money off it. That's all that matters. In the most basic sense, what a trader's job is to do is simply make more money than they lose in the market, right? Now, a little bit more complex answer, you want to mitigate your losses while maximizing your returns. What I've done is I've made moderate returns with very, very low losses, and I've kind of squeezed that down even more, and I am perfectly happy with that. Now, there are times where I get annoyed because I lose out on good opportunities for things to go parabolic, but basically what I've done over the last year to kind of adjust for that shortfall, in my opinion, is just when I sell, when I'm done trading something, I'm pretty much done. I will leave 5% of my investment in there to ride any additional waves that may come out, and then I'll have a 5% extra stop loss on that one in case it does really come down hard. I'll be fine, right? Now, that's what I'm doing now. I don't do it for everything, but I do it for most stuff now, especially when I'm trading with leverage. I just want to have a little bit of taste in there, so to speak. That's what I do. But you know, there's reasons why I normally do sell everything, or I used to sell everything, and part of it goes to, like, you know what? I think maybe Apecoin is a good example for this one. You guys know I bought Apecoin with you guys at $10.77. $10.77, yeah. Let's go to the 4-hour chart, maybe, or an hour chart. Yeah, okay. And I told you guys, based off of the technicals I had, like, all I could see was right here. Let me see if I can do this. Can't be connected. What do you mean can't be connected? Let's see. Replay. Wow, I really can't play with this. That's interesting. Okay, that's fine. Well, if you're not going to replay, I don't care. There it goes. Okay. Basically, all I could see at the time of buying it was this, right? And so I was like, okay, well, I can see us getting breaking above the neckline here pretty soon, even though normally I wait for that. And I was like, okay, well, I could possibly scale it up here at this level of support. I don't know what this line is actually here for. Oh, it's probably something that actually happened over there. But we had this level of resistance right around here at $13. And if I wanted to be more aggressive, I come up here to about $15 or so. And I was like, for you guys, let's have some fun. Let's go more aggressive than we might otherwise would have, because normally I'd be happy to take that profit from there to there, right? $10.77 to, what, $13? That's 20%. I'm happy to take that. I'm happy. But when I'm with you guys, I usually put more emotions behind my trade, so I was like, I will not sell this until it hits either $15 or $10, right? And fortunately for me, right, it came up, or I might have even sold it right there normally, but right close to this level of resistance right around here, right? But it came all the way up here to $14.48 before breaking down, consolidating, breaking back out, moving up here, and I sold it at, what do you know, $15, right? But now look at it. If I would have continued to hold on to it looking for more money, or maybe I was like, I don't know what's going on here, that, you know, I would be down 15% extra, more profit there, which would not have been that great for me, right? How much profit I would actually be down for there? So that's $10.77. $15 is right here. So at $15, I made 40% profit. That 40% profit right now is going to be worth about 17. That's a lot of profit lost on the table by trying to be greedy with it. Now, it doesn't mean things bad with it, but that means since I'm all out, I would really want to be trading this breakout down the road before I get really enthusiastic about Apecoin again, right? Kind of boring, consolidation breaks out of the pattern, and then boom, you're back in business. If you would have just traded this breakout right here, you could have made, you know, like a good 18-19% profit. And if it didn't work out your way, you know, you could still get out of there with a maybe 2 to 3% stop loss on your trade. But again, it really is that pesky process of being able to take a small loss, understanding it could be worse, and then being able to take a moderate to a small, moderate, or large size profit when you might not otherwise want to because you feel like it could go higher. And in those circumstances, I'm like, okay, well, I could always just leave 5 or 10% of my investment in. You guys could even leave 25% of your investment in. That's perfectly fine. I know a lot of people who what they do is they will make sure that they will sell enough to make sure that no matter what happens, that entire trade is going to have a profit. Whether it's just $5, $10, $100, usually it's like a few $100 profit. No matter what happens after you sell that portion, you still walk away with some profit. And then if they have like 50% left or 40% left, they let it ride and see what happens with it. And they have that stop loss there, so if it actually does fall down, they at least know they walked away with profit. That's the main thing, right? But it's up to you guys to determine how aggressive you guys want to be in your trades. Learning from me, you're most likely going to be more conservative. But I tell you guys, well, if you start off conservative and if you guys want to learn how to be more aggressive in your trades, by all means go for it. Just do it safely. And for me, the reason I teach you guys my conservative methodology, let's say that, is because I think it's more prudent or more reasonable to expect a new trader who has a lot of money that they don't want to lose to be more conservative rather than going gung-ho on every freaking meme coin, meme stock you guys see. That usually leads to poor returns. Like me, when I did meme coins and meme stocks, or not meme coins, meme stocks when I was first learning to trade, there were no meme coins when I first started learning how to trade. I lost money. Everybody I knew that tried to do like those really high volatile stocks, they lost money too. And so, if you're learning how to trade from scratch, you want to start making money, even if it's a little bit of money. You still want to be making it instead of losing it, because when you have the wind at your back and you're making money, everything just feels a lot nicer. Even when you have those bad ruts where maybe you're trading pretty poorly for like a week or two, you still feel fine because you know you're going to get better. If you start off bad and just continue to get worse, it's very hard to turn that around without just quitting out of the market completely. Right? So that's a whole mindset type of thing. It can be very, very annoying. Let's see. Hey, nice Palantir. I think Palantir is fine for a longer term hold. I didn't know there was cybersecurity company, huh? Isn't Palantir cars? Maybe I think there's something else here. But should be fine. Yeah, let's just join. When is the next level you would consider being a good support? Well, right now we're just breaking through the GAN fans pretty easily here. We only held for like 15 minutes. We have a Fibonacci level coming up right here at about 44,500 if you want to take a little bit of a short-term buy off of that one. For longer-term support, since we did just break down right here, I'd be happy to start buying closer to like maybe 41,000, 40,800-ish levels. Somewhere right around here with these two double Fibonacci levels. That's why I can be more happy to see it. Hopefully we can hold this Fibonacci level, but excuse me, this GAN fan level. But it really has, like, we didn't hold it here. We held it for like a day before falling down that time, and we held it here before going up a little bit. But and it's gonna be a little bit more of a tricky one. What is this? Maybe back up here around 42,300, if you will. That could be fine. And on the daily chart, it'll be kind of around here. Yeah, I'll be into what's with the 20s coming up here pretty fast too, isn't it? Yeah, I would say anywhere from $41,000 to $42,500. I got $1,500 range there. I'd be more enthusiastic about buying on the lower spectrum there. But if you wanted to nibble a little bit here and then buy more here, you can definitely do that. That way you have some skin in the game, so to speak, down the road. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Because who knows how long we really want to consolidate for. And again, the S&P 500 is also following the stock market a little bit more than we're used to. I've kind of vented about that quite a bit. If the market is a little bit greener tomorrow, we might see it just cool off a little bit and consolidate. Otherwise, you might see it come down a little bit more for whatever reason the market opens up really bad. But we just checked out the market here a few minutes ago. Futures are up just a little bit here, just a little bit, but they are up. I think what people are waiting for is, I think, isn't tomorrow the day the CPI numbers come out, the inflationary numbers come out? Amazon workers in Alabama reject union. Let's see. Fed's preferred inflation gauge rose 5.4% in March, highest since 18. That's not the one we'll care about. Let's see. No, I think it's tomorrow. I think that's what it's for. I thought it was actually supposed to come out today on a Wednesday. Yesterday on a Wednesday, but it didn't. So I guess it's going to come on Friday on the weekend when everybody's going to be pessimistic about the markets. Hey, Creative Eat. Thoughts on Luna and Sol during this move? Well, they both are getting taken down, which is unfortunate right now because of Bitcoin. And Luna had a beautiful, beautiful breakout here. We'll look at it very fast. But Luna had a beautiful breakout, and then it did not have the strength to do it. It's getting taken down just like Bitcoin right here. Getting taken down hard. So if I was looking to buy back some Luna, I'd be looking to buy it closer to like $96, maybe $97. I wouldn't be looking to buy it above 101. I'm long-term holding this one, which has been pretty nice. It's been a great move. You see this double bottom, neckline pop move. But I'm only going to sell my Luna if we break down below this trend line right here. That's the only time I want to sell it. Until then, I'm going to continue holding on to this bad boy. But right now, you're seeing a lot of stuff get hit down here, unfortunately. But we'll see if this Fibonacci level could hold or not for the short term here, because we are seeing a little bit of move, a decent move down here. Let's see. What's up? Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay. We tapped on the Fibonacci line, and we'll see how much further. Oh, there's no Fibonacci line in this one either. Jeez. That's okay. That's fine. I don't care. That's fine. 1 second back up here. There you go. Only for a second did we really hold that Fibonacci level. Yeah. We're having a pretty bad day as far as Bitcoin's concerned right now, so careful if you guys have positions. If you guys' stop loss is triggered, I'm sorry, mine triggered too. Still walking with some money, but still, we all want a Bitcoin to go up a little bit higher than this, of course. We'll see if we're able to hold the Fibonacci level or not. It's trying to here. It's trying to, at least for a short-term cooldown here. We don't want to just keep on going down like that. That'd be more of a not a crash, but like a larger dip for sure. There you are. And you see Ethereum Classic is down a wallop right now. Here, we'll leave Bitcoin up here on the 5, but you see Ethereum Classic right now. EOS is another big one right now. So this is Ethereum Classic coming down. Careful of careful of Ethereum Classic. This one could really tank hard. We talked about this could potentially tank hard the other day if Bitcoin did get rejected pretty nastily, or not just if it got rejected actually. And right here we also have EOS. Same thing, had a nice move up. These are the ones that kind of had really nice moves, and now they're paying the price right because really good rally here. By the breakout, kind of had returns of over 61%. Now they're cooling off again. You're seeing everybody that bought up here selling off to make sure they can at least take some profit home here. Anything else really having a rougher time than anything else? No, there's a few like Link that are down 3%. ICP's down 4%. That's fine. But it seems like Ethereum Classic and EOS are taking the brunt of this so far on this chart. We can also go over here to coinmarketcap.com. If I can find it, here we go. And see what's the biggest lose. GMT is doing fine. Waves is doing fine. If you guys want to do some day trading there to take some losses off the table, or help with some of those losses, those would be kind of fun. Mostly GMT here. It's at $2.52. When you see coins that are that cheap, it really is a lot easier to trade them. And here we can take a peek at GMT actually here. Beautiful. Even with a 15-minute chart, consolidating a little bit here. Somebody is trying to tank this thing back down, but the buyers are still there. So be careful of that one. You can see right here, Bitcoin's falling. They tried to bring it down. People are still buying into it. Ultimately, it looks like this may fall down, but that could be still be a short here. But I mean, this thing just skyrocketed over the last couple days. Went up 220%. When this thing comes down, it's going to be a beautiful and very easy thing to short. So maybe put it on your watch list with a decent stop loss, because whales, buyers of these types of coins, it can really keep on going and going and going. What's doing the worst here? Zilla is down 12, Chili's is down 11, 12, VeChain is down 12, so Loopring is down 10, ApeCoin is down 10. So, a lot of those coins have been having these really nice moves over the past few days. They seem to be coming down a little bit more than we might like to as well. But still, ZIL is still up 272% for the last 7 days. That's fine, right? Chili's is up 25% for the last 7 days. Still great. VeChain is still up 34% for the last 7 days, right? So it's like these are all things that did really, really well over the past few days, and now they're taking some heat here, right? On the other side of that, let's see, what is he at? There we go. Yeah, like AXS, they're having their issues right now. They're down overall. That's because of a big old hack that happened. Zcash is down, so these ones are the ones that never performed really well this week at all. Last 30 days, you know, FTM is not doing too well, KDA is not doing too well, Mana is not doing too well, Atom's not doing too well. You know, some of these types of longer term big boomer plays. Huobi token's not doing too well. That's interesting right there as well. That's like one of the few coins, exchange coins that I actually don't own. There we go. And man, yeah, they are bringing this down pretty efficiently right now. What's the best way to go about this? Actually, there was a guy here that said he bought a bunch of Bitcoin, and then it started tanking as soon as he did. I'm longing Bitcoin here. Wish me luck. Oh. I wanted to see if there's anything from the last few minutes here or something. Is there a way to sort Twitter? No. I wish I knew how to use Twitter more efficiently. But let's go here. Whale trades. There we go. 2 minutes ago, Bitcoin was longed. A while ago, short. Yeah, so there's a decent amount of money in there shorting Bitcoin right here. So let's see if we can hold the Fibonacci level. We'll see. I mean, they brought us down a little bit here twice, but we didn't close below it. I think that is somewhat of a win. Hey Michael, have a good day, my man. And hey Alex, I made a good chunk from Ethereum Classic and I hope to buy a lot more with profits and original investment once I see an opportunity. It's always the hard thing to wait for an opportunity. There's plenty of people looking to buy into buying right now, hopefully to move it back up a little bit. You saw part of that here on just those whale trades over the last few minutes. My thing here is when I look at these types of charts, I'm always thinking about what could happen this week. And by that I mean if we go over here to Coinbase and we look at the weekly chart here, and we remove the drawings and all that type of good stuff, and we look at some Fibonacci levels. Are these Fibonacci levels fine? That's fine. Which this one is the one I wanted to use. Why is it so? There we go. There we go. This is the one that works. This is the one that works. Yeah. Alright. I'm thinking maybe sometime this week we might come back down a little bit more, but I'm hoping we just use this week as a consolidation where even if we go back down, we still close above it at the end of the week, so like Sunday, Saturday, and then we take the next week to really bounce off and start moving up towards this resistance up here, about $52,000. Then maybe we start heading back down or something like that. But right now, that 200 was a big level of resistance. I'm hoping that the stock market opens up strong, but I don't know what those CPI numbers coming out tomorrow. I really don't know. Back over here though. This is a daily chart here. We'll use that one next. Valiantly trying to hold on to support right here though. The RSI is so low on the 2 hour, 4 hour. Oh yeah. I mean, Bitcoin's fallen down pretty fast in the last few hours. I mean, it's been like an hour and a half and we're already down like 2% on Bitcoin. Yeah, you look on the 15-minute or the 5-minute chart, we're down to what, 23? The daily chart, we're still up pretty high, so we're kind of cooling off from there, right? 4 hour, we're all the way down here at the 27. Yeah, oosh. This is the 4 hour chart right here. Broke down, came down, you know, not too happy. Took a stop right here at the trend line here, then officially broke down on the trend line. So we might be coming back down here to the low 40s or something. Hopefully just able to hold the Fibonacci, at least for a little bit. Like even if we just do a random bounce or something, it gives us the opportunity to have a reversal. But if we don't even, like, you know, consolidate into a pattern, we just keep on falling down, unfortunately. Pour some water in here. There you go. There we go. We closed above it. Let's see if we can continue a little bit higher now. All right, let me see. I mean, how... Let me go over here. Spot trading again. I just want to check something out. So even my BGB... Well, no, it's not really down, is it? No. I mean, it's come down a little bit more. Let me see. 15-minute chart. Yeah, even this has been coming down here a teeny bit. I mean, I'm not too concerned about it, but, you know, it's fine. But it's still up, what, 3% for the day while everything else is down. You know, but still, I would like to see the market kind of pick back up here, even if it's just holding this Fibonacci level or not. And there we go. Okay. We'll see how this works out. But if any of you guys have any questions about stocks or inflation or kind of anything with the economy, let me know. It doesn't have to be about charts right now, especially since most eyes are glued on Bitcoin. We're only going to be using the left half of the screen that you guys are looking at to look at the charts. It won't even be full screen since we have to kind of watch to see if we get hit by any more whales over the next few minutes here. Yeah, are you bullish or bearish on Bitcoin? Well, we did just get back into a bullish trend here, but within a few minutes we were back into the bearish one, even though we broke out of it, which kind of sucks, especially using the weekly candles here. Overall, I'm still... That death cross means a lot to me, maybe more than it should. But that death cross to me really does signal that something bad is most likely going to happen to crypto, Bitcoin in particular, right? Which will drag everything else down. Now, what I've been doing to kind of deal with that is I have a chunk of money set aside. So if Bitcoin goes down to 25,000, 26,000, anywhere around those levels, I'm going to buy a bunch of altcoins. I'm just going to load up heavy on them, right? But to kind of safeguard that, you guys know I bought some nibbles when we were consolidating over the past few months, month or two. So whatever happens, I'd be able to make some money. I've sold all those nibbles off. I'm going to have to start buying them back in now. They had good returns, right? Good returns, but I need something to kind of get more skin in the game. Probably bearish, unfortunately. I'm still hoping for some bullish movements, though. It's just most of my bearishness comes from that death cross I've been talking about for the past month or two. Short term here, we still have an opportunity to consolidate over the next 2 weeks and break out above the 200 daily moving average, or even shorter time frame than that. But I'd kind of want to see us do it faster, rather than just, you know, taking a while to do it. The longer we take, the more likely shorts are going to come in here and kind of bash us back down pretty hard, right? So I would say 60-40, bearish being in the 60 position, right? Just hopeful that we can really have a stronger move. Most of my bearishness comes from the fact that we had that death cross on the weekly chart with the 50 and the 20. And then, like, the rest of it really comes down to the fact that I still think the stock market should be a lot lower than where it is now. And unfortunately, you know, Bitcoin's been following the stock market a little bit too close, and I don't like that at all. Hopefully the market can rebound over the next few days, and that'll help out Bitcoin for sure. Well, at least until the weekend hits, then Bitcoin does its own little wild thing. Hey, Byte Media, happy to see you back, my man. What's over here very fast? There we are. So the only thing we've been able to really bounce off of so far here is the Fibonacci level. Oh no, we bounced off of the trend line. We tried to bounce off of this and it didn't really work too well. Now we're back down here. We'll go to the 15-minute chart now. There we are. Kind of shows you a little bit more of what's been going on here. Because that really took a nasty hit down there. Alright. That's fine. Any more whale trades going on right now? No. No, not since the last few minutes when they longed at the Fibonacci level. 44,609. So they kind of bought it right up here, like right above the Fibonacci level. Get that out, get that out, get that out. We don't need this anymore. Don't need this anymore. Perfect. All right. Yeah. I'm hoping the 15 can really hold this one so we can at least get a little bit more of a bounce up. Because remember, guys, this is the beginning of the trading day here, basically, for these candles. So I would hope that we can try to consolidate a little bit back up here, even if it means we just get back up to like 46 or 45,500 before ultimately coming back down. It'd be nice to have a little bit of a cool-off period so we don't see this turning into something more where you start seeing longs being forced to liquidate large amounts of cash. That might move us back down to like 42,000 a little bit faster than we might otherwise want to. Hey, Ken, when will that death cross hit? Well, the death cross already happened, but as far as when the actual move would take place, there's two, like, nobody knows. Nobody knows. So as we kind of watch this, it's consolidating. Since we're talking about Bitcoin, I'll kind of short on another chart here. Well, hopefully when we come back to this, it won't just crash, but we'll be watching on this chart as well. So here's the weekly. Boom. All right. So the cross happened last week, right? But we still managed to break out above it. But the cross happened back here March 14th that week, right? And now we're coming back down. But the last time we had the death cross here, it took all of 1 week to crash. 1-2 weeks to crash really nastily. Bad crash, right? Well, this time when the death cross happened, right? The cross happened. The price moved up above the 20-week moving average. Unfortunately, we came back down, but then we consolidated. So it took a total of 133 days from the time the cross happened to when Bitcoin actually started to crash. So it's really anybody's game here. My main point about all of this is, well, first of all, I just told you guys 60-40 bearish on Bitcoin. Even though we had a breakout, which is awesome, but that 20, which is the 200 daily moving average, seemed to be freaking way too much for us apparently, which was surprising as we had all the whales kind of pumping us up, right? But both times that we end up breaking down, we seem to come down to the 200 weekly moving average. Weekly moving average, weekly moving average. Came down to it both. Now, if we were to come down to the weekly moving average, I broke something. There we go. It somehow moved the moving average to... I didn't know you could do that. You guys know you can move the moving average onto different parts of the chart? Did not know that. Okay, sorry. Right now, the 200 moving average, weekly moving average, is somewhere around here at about $21,000. Well, if we consolidate just a few more weeks and then we somehow make that big old drop down the road, maybe by then it will only be dropping down towards 25,000 because you see the 200 is going to be moving up here pretty quickly. Right now, if we're using this candle and we go all the way to the 200, zoom out here, get those out of the way, condense that. You guys can still somewhat see this, that's fine. All right. Okay. So these 200 bars are making up where the moving average, the 200 weekly moving average is right now. Over the next few weeks, you'll see it kind of stay stagnant and not really do much and still be pulled upward, because even though this is kind of stagnant, right, week to week to week, we're still way up higher over here than the moving average. It'll keep on moving up here towards probably $23,000, $24,000, maybe if we're lucky up to $25,000. So if we do see any major bad moves come down in the foreseeable future, we'll most likely just only go back down towards $24,000, $25,000, and that's where I'll have a bunch of limit order stuff. I'm not saying it's going to happen, definitely. I'm just saying if it does happen, I have a plan for it, and that's where I personally want to be buying up some stuff, and I might even buy some longer term trades around the $30,000 level as we go from last summer's lows here, right? So I'm kind of watching and I'm observing it. It'll be interesting to see what happens here, but man, I really hope it doesn't happen, even though I'll make a lot of money if it does. It'll just make it that much longer for everybody else to make their money that hold the long-term positions, right? And that's never a fun thing, right? But again, what you're going to be looking for, do we break down below this? If we do, that's where you know it's game on for this type of move. As long as we hold above this, we're fine. But if we break down below this trend line right here, you know, that's where you might start seeing some bad stuff. But again, we are like 22% away from that, $10,000 away from that. You know, we're fine for now. We're just kind of watching these smaller trend lines in this price action go on. So hopefully Bitcoin can consolidate for a little bit of time and then keep moving up down the road. Right? That's the best thing that could happen here. We're just preparing in case something really bad does happen off of this death cross. Because again, death cross, well, death cross, bad move. Death cross eventually drops. And then we don't have any more historical context on this one right here. But yeah. But however, golden crosses usually signal something really good's coming. Golden cross, good times are coming. Golden cross right here, good times are coming. And then golden cross way back over here, probably back over here, good things are coming over time. So, you know, for all the bad stuff that may happen because of the death cross, whenever these things cross back up, which will most likely be towards the end of the year, that'll be absolutely fantastic for, no, this is a 20 moving average. This is 20 weeks up pretty high. Or no, that's kind of, yeah, okay. Maybe in Q3, they might have a cross again leading into a really bullish winter. That could be really nice for us. But we could still have a pretty bullish spring and summer if we're able to really hold this level though. And the last thing I'll say, Can, is we don't talk about it too much because, you know, it's something that just takes a few seconds to say, but the monthly chart, we're still looking okay here for the monthly chart. We're still holding above the 20, and of course, every time we break down below the 20, it's still kind of similar to that death cross there. Death cross, boom. Oh, I'm not going to pull up, but you can see with bad times. Right now, we're still consolidating. I don't want to have this be a few months up just to have a really bad April. If we have a really bad April, that will just be so depressing. Because remember, normally we have 33% or so returns every April. Not last year because of this big move we saw. This year, oosh, I hope we can kind of get back to that trend and having a nice time here. But again, who knows how many times we can test and hold the 20-month moving average. It's a pretty crazy one. We held it 1, 2, 3 months. Maybe we'll hold it 4 months. Who knows? But man, it's, you know, we don't want to drop below this one either. We don't want to even close down below this. But that, again, that goes back towards the end of April. That's a while away. And there you go. If you want to look at the monthly chart here, this is a level of resistance that we saw, but this is a monthly one, so how would I play this one? Yeah, right there. Resistance around 47,000. If we're kind of going on this move, and then we would go here. Consolidate, and hopefully not break down from this one. But this is a whole different thing. Oh wait, I don't want to do that. Well, that's fine for now, I guess. Oh, okay, we came back in time to see another attempt to bring us down. And Hodri, any technical analysis? Oh boy, yeah, we just did all the technical analysis right there. But yeah, short term, we're in a pickle. We just broke down from the trend line right here. We're feeling the consequences of that right now. If you guys are long-term trading, this isn't really much for you. But if you guys are swing trading right now, you're hoping that we can at least hold the Fibonacci. Otherwise, we're going to be going back down to like the mid 40,000s range, or it's even the lower $40,000 range, and that will make it fun. Hey, boy, what you doing? My pup just came over. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's because you're tired. Yeah, I'll get you some water in a little bit. Yeah. You want some water? He's been a big baby. He's like, Dad, Bitcoin's going down. How are you going to buy my food? Yeah, okay, you're fine. Yeah, but right now, guys, if you have any questions about any particular, like, you know, the economy, anything, let loose. I'm happy to answer them for you guys. Because right now, we're just watching Bitcoin kind of test out these levels, and we're going to see if it can hold the fibs on this 15-minute chart. In fact, we'll go to the 5-minute chart here so we can just be a little bit more active about what we're looking at here. There we are. So we can see what's happening. There we go. And my dog's here just to kind of give guidance, even though you guys can't see him. There you go. Scratching his butt. Alright. Oh, we closed down below. Oh, that's the 5. We closed down below it all now. Well, that was the first time the 5 did close down below it. Yeah. He's walking. Oh. He walked away. I was going to show you. I was going to let you guys see him, but... Loki. There it is. He played a lot today, so he's very, very tired. I got an alert on my phone that Bitcoin was going down here, that all my orders got stopped out a few days ago while I was in the dog park too. There you go. If the dump happens to 25K, do you want it to happen faster or maybe around Q3? I'd want it to happen faster, very, very fast, just to get it over with, because the two scenarios we saw the breakdown happen. The first one was more of a dump, and then it kind of just held there for like half a year, then it eventually took back off. And the more recent one that kind of had more retail trader activity, you might say, that one was more of a V-shaped recovery, and I think most likely we'd have more of a V-shaped recovery from that one, so where it might come down for 25,000 or so for just a few days, and then after that, then it starts to make some returns, and then it levels off around $30,000 or so, starts consolidating, doing some stuff, and then from there later on, then it starts making higher moves. But if I was able to buy a whole bunch of coins down there, especially altcoins and such, I would not care if we went back down to 20,000 or anything like that. I'd be so happy with that price. I'd be putting a lot of money down there as well. My other thing about what I'm planning on doing at that moment, if we do make it down to $25,000, again, if we do make it down that low, I am going to be doing some my normal long trades, right? But I might also do some long trades with leverage involved, so some futures trading, which means that if I buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, investment at 25,000. Well, instead of doing a 1x leverage play or a spot play, maybe what I might do is I might do a 2 to 3x leverage position, not much higher than that. And so that means for every percent that Bitcoin goes up, or for every percent that the altcoin goes up, I'll make 2% back or 3% back. But that still means for every percent it goes down until it kind of levels off, I will be losing 3%. So right, because remember, we're going to be trying to catch a falling knife, which is very, very hard. Most likely what will happen is if it does come down low, we may buy at 25,000, we may buy at 24,000, but maybe afterwards it just goes all the way down to $22,000 before it comes back up. So you have to be aware that that may happen, and you have to be I have to be able to have enough capital in my accounts. That way it can so the banks know, or the exchanges know, like, hey, I can cover the losses for a while until it gets down to this level, and then I'll go green for me, so to speak, right? You see that happen quite a bit for a lot of traders. There we go. And what's 3053? Yeah, we're almost there. But right now, it even seems like the Fibonacci level is getting hit pretty hard here as well. Is it true the most important support level is at 38K? No, the most important support level is really the lows from last summer, the 28,800 level. That's really the most important one for me, because that symbolizes that we're going down to like the mid-20s, which would be like the good buying zone, because it gives you an opportunity out of it. Right now, if you wanted a pretty sturdy one that you should be watching for in the long term, as here Bitcoin kind of takes that move down here. Oh, geez. All right, well, let me put auto on. The one I'd be using is most likely... short term here, medium term, is this one. The low from February 24th connected to the low of March 14th, this trend line right here. If we start breaking down below this one, all this work kind of goes away, then we're kind of stuck back over here in the high 30s or so. Then after that, I'd be using another trend line right here, around, $36,000 or so. That's kind of how I'd be looking at these going forward. As far as everything else, I mean, we do have some random trend lines you can kind of plot here over time, like, can I do this without making it kind of wonky? No, I'll just take the magnet off. Some random ones like that, but I don't think these are going to be too helpful for you, because they're not, this is not going to be very useful, right? That one was fine, kind of a little bit of resistance there, but that's all GAN-fan levels right there, stopping all this stuff. And, so it doesn't really have anything to do with this, those trend lines, right? What you might want to look at too is longer term GAN fans. I was doing some research from back to maybe some stuff that I might have missed over the last few months. And one of the things I missed here was, which chart is it on though? This one, okay. Oh wait, no, this is 2. Which one is the one I need to be using? Okay, well, let's delete this one. Let's delete this one. And now we got 2 GAN fans with 4 lines. That's not a 45-degree angle. Why does it change? TradingView has some issues that I really don't like sometimes, but that's fine for now. Okay. So you might look at longer term GAN fan levels. I have a video on GAN fans if you want to learn how to place them on your charts. But this is the one that I missed because I didn't look far enough back in time. I was using a GAN fan level from over here, which is a lot different, of course. But if you would have used a GAN fan from the highs we experienced in November, which means you could have been using this since November, to the lows we had back over here in December of 18, right? That's where we put the vertical line. You will see that in hindsight now for me, I totally missed this and I regret it greatly. After we had this big move down from all-time highs, we found a perfect level to buy at right here on the GAN fan level. It worked out beautifully. And it came back down here and it still worked out beautifully. Excuse me. So maybe you want to look at GAN fan levels a little bit more if you wanted to. Again, I have a video on them if you wanted to check them out. It only has like a few hundred views, but it's a little bit complicated. Well, it's not complicated, but I don't have good marketing skills as far as making good thumbnails and stuff, so nobody clicks on them. But if you wanted to learn how to put them on your charts, I teach you guys how. And you guys can use multiple GAN fan levels if you wanted to. So you could have like up to like, you can have a lot of GAN fan levels in here. There we go. But why is this set to 19 angle? There we go. Well, let me see something. If I fix all these back, no, something's off. $55, oh, $45, and now it fits right back in there. Freaking weird times. Okay, it always makes me feel paranoid because I know I set up everything correctly and it still go wax out right. And then as you guys look at these, you'll see that some are more reliable than others, and that's crucial to understand down the road, right? So if we go back over here, you'll see this one really wasn't. It was a little bit reliant here, a little bit there, but over here, as far as a support, it didn't really hold too well. It closed down here sometimes, closed down here sometimes. Below it kind of moved up and down freely, and you're seeing right now it's not really holding anything. It was resistance for us, pretty good resistance, pop, again going back in time here, but now it's not really doing much as support. But as far as resistance, it's a pain in the butt for us to get above. On the weekly chart here, maybe it looks a little bit nicer. Let's see. The weekly chart held, weekly chart did not hold here. Weekly chart we broke out, but we're not holding it here. Well, we have 2 days and 24 hours. If we can hold this, maybe that story changes up a little bit, but we were not able to hold it too well there. But we do know this is a nicer level of support here. And again, anything before the all-time highs, it doesn't matter. None of these lines matter. None of the support matters. It may be a coincidence. It doesn't matter though. You only can use the information after the all-time highs because using this high to determine the levels of where you put the GAN fan at. So going forward, if you guys wanted to have another major level of support, you might use it somewhere down here on this GAN fan level, which is around like, over the next few weeks, maybe $33,000 or so. We'll see, but I don't think we're going to come down like that hard, that fast. But yeah, so if you guys have an opportunity, maybe use some GAN fan levels and also use some Fibonacci levels. Because again, this would look very cluttered for a second, even more than it already does. But if I had use this Fibonacci level right here, that low on the Fibonacci scale. Well, no, that's not going to work because I need the magnifying. That low, and I went up to the all-time highs here again. and then I moved this down to fib levels based on log scale, you'll see that it also matched up with the Gann fan. So something I missed out again. Fibonacci level right here. This is why I go back and look at stuff I made mistakes on, because it helps me in the future. This will help me in the future. Stopped right there. Fine, right? So this was a good little buying zone. You wouldn't be looking for a precise area if you were trying to buy here, though. You'd be looking for something like this, like oh, I forgot the magnet's on. You'd be saying, hey, I want to put a buying zone right here. So anywhere below 35,412, I'd feel comfortable buying in here. And then I would like to see it. I would have to wait a little bit of time to see if it really does make me any money going forward. That type of stuff. But like looking on at hindsight, I missed this. And this is something like, well, you know, we all make mistakes. This is my big mistake, right? Buying opportunity here, buying opportunity here. Next time we come back down to it, I'm going to see if I can buy into it down the road, right? Or maybe take a little bit of a nibble. But I don't know. We've held 1, 2, 3. I'll take an opportunity there, but I'll have a tight stop loss, right? And the stop loss will go below the line because I see it. It broke down below the line here, broke down below the line here. But next time, the Fibonacci line comes first. But let me take away this Fibonacci level right there. There we go. So going back and doing some research on the stuff you looked at before, you usually see signs that say, hey, you're an idiot. You should have saw this. And I can call myself an idiot anytime of the week, right? There we go. 5-minute chart here. We broke down below the Fibonacci level, unfortunately, now. We'll see how that continues to go on here, back there. And now we're back down to the second Gann fan line here. What is it? 3-1, I think. EU is banning cold wallets and new regulations. Banning cold wallets of all things? Let's see. Hey, Michael, Bitcoin just can't catch a break. It is what it is. We gotta face reality. Sometimes the government sucks, right? Let me see if I can find it over on my right side of my screen to kind of figure out what's going on. Let's see. I want to learn more about the EU banning wallets. Crypto slate. Okay. While that's consolidating, let's kind of take a little bit of a look at this. No. Okay. Alright, so I'll kind of read it as it goes. Bitcoin dropped $2,000 from $47,500 to $45,500 in 4 hours after news broke that the EU is set to cripple innovation in the blockchain space. Today, the European Parliament voted in favor of outlawing unhosted wallets within the European Union. I bet my British friends are still like, oh my god, thank god. On the EU, right? Unhosted wallets. According to their terminology, an unhosted wallet is a non-custodial wallet managed entirely by an individual. This includes cold wallets such as Ledgers, Trezor, and SafePal, as well as hot wallets like MetaMask, Trust Wallet, Mu, and many others. Oh, the really low market cap market, they might be in trouble here. Yeah, the only crypto wallets are allowed will be the ones held by exchanges that require all users to complete KYC checks. KYC stands for Know Your Customer and is typically within the centralized finance industry to protect against money laundering. If you wish to use an unhosted wallet, you must register it with an exchange wall, revealing your entire identity. Our go-to man in the Twitter field, Patrick Hansen of Unstoppable DeFi, broke the news in a 15-part Twitter thread. I'm going to skip that part. Can DeFi survive in Europe? Further, DEXs will now require customers to register and provide their identity before being able to interact on the blockchain. Europe's going to lose a lot of power in this type of field. I don't think America's going to be that aggressive because America's kind of more... We're closer to democracy than the EU is. EU is like a whole separate thing, different than the other countries, right? At least from my understanding. All right, but this completely defeats the point of DeFi. If I have to register with a company and hand over my ID to transact, then that information will need to be centralized and is vulnerable to attack. One of the best parts of DeFi is the ability to interact with ease and without risking having your privacy stolen. That's why I have my cold wallets in the bank, right? Well, you know, they're not in storage at the bank in a little block box, right? How or where DeFi companies who operate entirely on the blockchain will store the data of their customers' records is unknown. This will add additional regulatory and financial overheads to every DeFi project in the EU, as they now have to store every customer's private and sensitive data. That's going to be hacked really easily over the next few years. How or when DeFi companies who operate so you're going to see people migrating if they're really large wallet holders. You may actually see them like keep the money somewhere else. Maybe they put it in Sweden. Okay. Alongside this news came the decision to require all wallets users interacting with exchanges to undergo KYC checks. Currently, the limit is €1,000 above, and of which you are required to register with an exchange and reveal your personal information. With the new legislation, any customer using an exchange will need to undertake the KYC process. Technically, you should still be able to send transactions between personal unhosted wallets for any amount. However, the most challenging aspect is if you want to send crypto from an exchange wallet to a friend who lives outside the EU. For your friend to receive their crypto, they would have to register with your exchange. Oh, that's like communism. Oh, sorry, I don't want to use the C word here. Our goal is to always be impartial, but this simply seems ludicrous to me. It does seem ludicrous. Oh my god, they don't know what they're talking about or what they're legislating here. Yeah, it's kind of wild. Okay. How long do we have? This is the kind of wrapping everything up. Companies will have 9 months to adapt to the new ruling and then 18 months to ensure they fully comply with the new regulations. Whether any European DeFi company will stay in the EU after this ruling is enacted up for debate. Given the nature of the industry, they should be able to relocate outside of Europe to skirt these regulations. Non-custodial wallets cannot quickly be banned outright due to the decentralized by design. Thank God. A European citizen cannot be stopped from interacting with a DeFi project outside the EU that does not require KYC. So this may be Europe simply shooting themselves in the foot by alienating innovative companies. Yeah, they're going to come here or anywhere else. So that really doesn't, they're not going to be torturing them with regulations. For example, Portugal, a hotspot for DeFi and blockchain innovation, will surely not be happy with the results of this vote. There is still time for the act to be amended as it now passes to trilogies, something like that, where regulations will occur. After this, MEPs will vote on the agreed version of the act, and it will become law. Dude, that's bad. That's bad. That's really bad. I'm surprised this is only a small little drop that we've seen so far because of it. Now, up here in America, we don't really have any any reason to be concerned. I think from what I've seen in congressional hearings is that majority of Republicans and a good amount of Democrats are on board with kind of crypto and not being overly regulatory to that industry. We do have some of the leftward ones like Ocasio-Cortez and Elizabeth Warren. They're kind of a little anti-crypto, kind of saying they kind of like it's hurting Americans, but I don't think crypto really hurts people. I think it's like gives them a financial, opportunity when they can. Like Americans get an opportunity to buy into this and hold for the long term, knowing it's going to make you a lot of money in the future. In the short term, sure, you have a bunch of volatility and stuff like that, and we may see regulations. That's fine. That we do need some more regulation in the crypto space, but nothing like what the European Union is doing. That is insane. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd be happy to kind of listen to all of you guys' thoughts. Like, really, feel free to comment. Some of those things kind of remind me of communism. Not like hardcore communism, but you saw the kind of flavors of communism kind of in that. And I hate using the communism word because, like, Europe is not a communist country, right? Or, group of nations. I don't know what you want to call it, European Union, but it does seem interesting. And I do know, I've talked to companies over in Portugal, actually quite a few, about their projects and stuff like that. And if they're going to have that much trouble, I could see them all relocating to America or some other crypto-friendly space. If they want to hop across to England, maybe that might be the best option because it is a lot closer. But that way people can still work at home and have those kind of time zone similarities. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. This is a bad thing. Let's see. Hey, Far from Broke. Apparently, to stop money laundering, we want all crypto transactions to be traceable. Yeah, it's going to be weird here going forward. A European citizen cannot be stopped from interacting with a DeFi project. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Let's see. Hey, Burphead. I do not know much about Flux at all. I have to look it up a little bit more. I do not know much about Flux at all. Did you see the World Government Summit? Here's what they said: we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. Well, of course they do, but I don't want to use their coins. I like these coins better. Coins that are run by private companies and people that are forced to do stuff unless they lose a bunch of money, they usually do a lot better than those in the private sector, right? Public sector, excuse me. It's like what's a good example? You guys know a lot of times private parks are more well kept up than the public parks for the most part. It's kind of that same philosophy. When the government kind of touches stuff in a way that they don't understand, it does have really bad negative consequences. And it's going to affect like us out here in America, but I don't think we're going to see Congress really do much against crypto. You do see certain states taking actions against specific types of crypto, but it's not really affecting every American. Like, I feel bad when I tell people, like, hey, go download the Voyager app in New York or Texas, but they can't because Texas and New York don't allow them to, because they've been lobbied off by banks to say, hey, we don't want no crypto in there. We don't want to compete for those savings dollars, which just kind of sucks because I could earn 9% interest annually on my USDC holdings, or I can get 0.001% by holding money in my Chase savings account. Ooh, right? Like, there's no competition, so because there's no competition, and right there, they're like, well, we're not even gonna let you have the choice. We're just gonna take it out of this equation, so you're forced to leave your money in the bank, which sucks. It's not good at all. And you see a lot of politicians being bought off by banks in those type of scenarios. Everybody wants to be reelected. Let's see. Sounds like the antithesis of cryptocurrencies. I mean, it really is, guys. It really is. Chalking money flow as low as March 3rd. Yeah. Most people think that digital money is crypto and private, but what I see are superpowers introducing digital currency. The Chinese were the first. The U.S. is on the brink of moving in the same. Oh yeah, I mean, cryptocurrencies is like, this does not make me feel any different about holding Bitcoin or holding crypto for the long term. In the short term, though, this is going to be a mess to have to clean up, and then you got to worry that like Elizabeth Warren and Ocasio-Cortez don't really think like, oh, maybe this is what we should be doing over here. That type of nonsense. Because just the talking about it in the United States will lead to major moves on the downside for crypto, right? We don't want to deal with that at all. Hey, Crypto Hash, a VPN? Oh yeah, everybody loves a VPN, but if you get caught, they're liable to take all your money away from you, and that's going to suck, right? It's going to be a problem going forward. We'll see how much it actually affects the market in total, but you already see it killed a breakout, and I guess that's what it is. It killed a breakout, and a pretty good breakout at that. So we consolidated for a few weeks or a couple months, right? And all of a sudden, EU comes down and smacks us. Right there. Okay, there we are. But we'll see how we get affected here by this. But it's not going to be too pretty. We'll see if the United States does anything. I don't think we are. But the EU is going to lose a lot of those future jobs. A lot of those jobs. Because you see in California is fully embracing Bitcoin. They have that big mega convention there in Miami every year. I think it's happening in a few days. I think it's the 6th or something like that. I am hoping to hear from them and see, hey, what are you guys talking about as far as, what are you guys thinking about everything that's going on in the EU? This will be hot debate topics, if you will. And what we'll try to do here is, I don't know if anything is online. You playing with your toy boy? You can keep playing with it. If they, I'm not going to pay for this because I feel no obligation to at all. But if they do have some like, hey, watch our free stream about something going on here, I will try to from the day 2 to 3, so that means the 7th through the 8th, or 7th through the 9th, yeah, or whatever. We will kind of see if they talk about anything of importance here, because you got a president of a country here, you got Michael Saylor, whoever that guy is, whoever this person is, that person, all these people, Jordan Peterson, Kathy Woods, Peter Thiel. I will find their thoughts and post them online if possible, as long as I'm not, breaking any rules or anything like that. I'll be happy to do that. Because I think, how much does it cost to go to right now? Sunday money, Suno money. What is this? $110. Yeah, I'm not paying for that. I pay for, yeah, no. Sound money it's only for the festival. Main event, $1,000, 23. Yeah, no, I'm not paying for that. I'm doing a trip to Belize. I'm spending my money there. I'm gonna have a lot more fun than if I went to a Bitcoin convention across the United States. If I actually lived in Florida, I would pay for it and I would go to it and I would live stream the entire thing for you. But I don't, so I'm not. I'm not. But after I move down to Belize and have my nice little beach house and all that good stuff, if they do have some type of event down there, I'll be happy to live stream it for you guys, and we'll have a big party. And if any of you guys go down there at any point in time, you can have a big party there, a big Bitcoin party. It'll be nice. But that's down the road. See. Hey guys, no. As far as the long-term things of this year, this doesn't really do much for it. We've had bad news over time, and the market still rebounds fine. This has nothing to do with like what will happen later on in the year. This is more of a short-term thing, and we'll have to see how the market adapts to it. But I don't think it's going to really cause much chaos like what we expect to see in November and December. This is only like a short-term move right here, and it's picking us apart at a really, from a technical standpoint, the news came at a really bad time. It confirmed the rejection for us. We can still consolidate from here and make a bigger move, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens over in the EU and how they adapt to it. Because again, that bill could still be amended and changed up a little bit more, especially because, again, like they said, Portugal has a lot of investments in cryptocurrencies, and they're trying very hard to use that as an economy booster for themselves. The EU is like, hey, we don't care about you, Portugal, but maybe if Portugal screams and yells enough, they'd be like, okay, Portugal, we'll let you have some special stuff in it. Something like that, right? Let's see. I would like to see Apple Pay move over to crypto and do like an Apple Pay version of it. That'd be very, very efficient, so I would like it quite a bit. My big thing with transferring crypto and doing all these payments, they got to make it as cheap as possible. The cheaper, the better, so it feels like I'm just paying that tiny fee to the credit card company, right? That's what I really want it to end up being like. But again, we are still in the early days of cryptocurrencies. All of these coins that we're holding now, they will go up a lot more over time, and I'm going to be ready to kind of take in all those gains. But right now, as far as the next few days or so, we might be in a pickle because of this really bad news. And, it's unfortunate, but we don't control anything about the European Union, guys. I mean, a lot of us in the United States. I'm in the United States. If you guys are over in Europe, call your local representative and say, what the hell are you doing? That type of stuff. But be nice about it if you can. There you go. Okay, everybody, I'm going to call it a night here. I've been streaming for about 2 hours, a little bit longer than normal. I'll see you guys tomorrow around 8 p.m. because it's a Friday night stream. We'll talk about all this stuff and more. If there's any major crashes that happen tomorrow, something like really bad or something like that, I'll go live a little bit earlier. But if not, I'll see you guys around 8 p.m. tomorrow. For now, guys, look more into this news yourself. Kind of just type in online to Google European Union blockchain, European Union cryptocurrencies, and you'll learn more about it. I'm going to do some more learning about it myself, but it really doesn't look too good. It feels like a little bit of communism to me, which I really hate saying that word, but like I don't know another word to describe it. Leninist, I don't know. But yeah, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Pacific time. We'll talk about a little bit more of this. But yeah, let me know if you guys find anything else out later on in the day. Okay, thanks everybody.